Okay, so a few days ago I released a video going over a standardized testing system that's going to measure the versatility and casting range of any particular reel, and what better reels to put through the test first than the all-new 2018, the hot reel of the moment, SHIMANO Curado 200K, and its arch rival, the DAIWA Tatula CT Type R. Now these are arch rivals, not only because the companies are arch rivals, but they now occupy the exact same price point of $179. Now, in the last series of tests between the old Curado I and the old the old Tatula Type R, the Curado I won every single test. Now, I'm not sure what the outcome is going to be because there have been some major changes to this Tatula CT versus the Curado K when it comes to the spool department. So the first thing we're going to do is going to pull out the scale and measuring tools and go over some weights and measurements. Okay, so I got my trusty cheapo scale out. Now these two seem to gone in opposite directions when it comes to weight versus their predecessors. Let's put the Type R on the scale first. Okay, it's 7.3 grams, and I believe it's about 0.4 grams lighter than the previous Type R, which was about 7.7 grams. Now, the old Curado, I believe, was 7.4 grams, and the new Curado, with its bigger handle, comes in at 7.7 grams. So this one lost weight over its predecessor. This one gained weight over its predecessor. So let's pop the spools out real quick and weigh those. Okay, so I have the spools out, and first of all I want to put them side by side and show you guys the difference. Looks like the Tatula CT Type R spool is now significantly or noticeably thinner than the Curado. They thinned this up by 3 millimeters, 24 millimeters across, while the old one was 27 millimeters, while the Curado spool stays the same at 25. So the CT Type R spool weighs in at a very light 15 grams. So versus the old spool, it lost over a gram. I believe the old spool was 16.2 grams. So this lost about almost 1.2 grams. The old Curado spool was 16.4 grams. And the new Curado spool is 15.98, so basically 16 grams. So it lost a little bit of weight, about 0.4 grams. But this is about a gram lighter, and it's going to hold less line. So the advantage as far as that goes to the CT Type R. Okay, so a few days ago I picked up a tool that's going to help me measure the diameter of the spools. It's a little cheap micrometer. It's cheaper than I thought it would be from Walmart. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the diameter of the Type R spool, which is supposed to be 34 millimeters. Need to figure out how to work this better. It looks like it is 33.88 millimeters in diameter, so roughly 34 millimeters. Okay, next up is the Curado K. Gonna zero it out. Okay, 33.71. So both advertise as 34 millimeter, but they're a little bit under, which is no big deal. So the first test I'm gonna put him through are the heavy lures, the top water, and the lipless crankbait. So I'm gonna be using the standard 12-pound trilene big game mono. So I'm gonna spool them up, and I'm gonna weigh the spools, and then go over a prediction of who I think is gonna win. Okay, so I got the spools filled up with line, and let's go ahead and give them a weigh. The first spool is gonna be the Tatula, and filled with line, we're looking at 25.56 grams. And the Curado, you're looking at 28.52 grams. So it went from about a 1 gram difference to about a 3 gram difference. So as far as who I think is going to win the casting battle, it's going to be tough, because since the spool has been narrowed and lightened on the Type R, the angle compared with the T-wing system, the friction angle is going to be less than even its old, the old Type R. And the Curado spool didn't really change except for the color. The only thing that changed is the new brakes. I think this is what made the spool weigh less. I don't see any kind of extra porting. The only thing it has is the new brakes that looks like the mass of the assembly is less than the old brakes, so it lost a little weight that way. So centrifugal against Mag Force Z. I don't know who's gonna win. I'm thinking the Type R is going to win because it's got the 3 gram lighter spool, and of course the T-wing, and I think it gained way more in casting versus the old model than the Curado did versus the I. But we don't know until we find out, so I'm going to get out on the field and hopefully try to throw these 2 baits without breaking them off somewhere, and get back to you guys. Okay, thanks. Okay, so I'm out here and I have the Tatula CT Type R. The brakes are set at, the spool tension is set to just eliminate the side-to-side play. And I found the best setting is 8 on the mag dial. And at this setting, I can't really whip it too hard or it'll overrun. And of course I got the Strike King Red Eye Shad. So here we go. .154 8 inches. .154 6 inches. Okay, that's what happens when I turn the mag dial down 1 click to 7. .152 5 inches.
150 feet and 4 inches. $154 feet 10 inches.